Hi everyone, it's Maija here again, sharing a process video for Friday's sketch. So this is the sketch by the lovely Anke, and you're going to see my view on the sketch. For the base of the layout, I'll be using the Lindy's mists that came in the color kits. I want to create a soft and quite simple mixed media background. I'll be using clear gesso to make the background not absorb all the mists. I'm using this is actually the credit card sort of for Silhouette Studio that I don't need anymore, so I'm using it to blend out the gesso onto the background. And just a quick blow of air on that to make it fully dried. So I'll be using mostly the pink one. I'm trying to find the name of the color, but there you can see it, the cotton candy pink mists. And I'm just going to spray lots of it onto the paper and then just let it run down the paper. I'm using the photo as a guide for me for how big I need to make the bottle of mist on the paper. And then, as you can see in the sketch, there are the strips of paper or whatever you want to make them as a strip, but I decided that I want to make strips of paper on top of the mixed media. I put the layout itself on the side to let it dry, and while it dries I'm cutting these 1-inch strips of papers using mostly the Heidi Swapp Color Fresh papers, but also some of the Great Paper Sunny Days papers that came in both the main kit and the paper kit. So now I'm just making sure that the mist has completely dried, so I'm using a little bit of my heat gun tool to let it dry completely before applying the papers on top of it. And now onto the tricky part. I cut out lots of the paper strips. I realized that there are quite too many. It's going to be covering all of the mixed media that I just made. First I want to back up the photo. I love this paper from Heidi Swapp. Super cute. Love the color of it, and for once I'm just using one sheet of paper behind the photo, and then I just want to assemble the papers into a nice cluster. This turned out to be actually really tricky. I couldn't quite figure out in which order I wanted them to go and actually how to get them stick together, so I decided to use my stapler to get them together. The photo is going to cover up the staples, so it doesn't really matter, but this way I don't have to glue them. I just have to get them stick together in one place. And then for the final touches to get all the colors, and there it is, the strips as I wanted them to be. Just like in the original sketch by Anke, the strips don't cover the whole page, so I wanted to cut them into different lengths to make it a little interesting on the eye, so that not all the strips are the same size. Then it's embellishment time. In the sketch you can see the butterflies, the bigger ones. I decided that I want to make little clusters of embellishments onto the place of the bigger butterflies. So now I'm just going through the Heidi Swapp Color Fresh ephemeras. So I just want to flick through them and pick out anything and everything that might be good for the layout, and then just decide later what I actually want to use. I really love the collection. The colors are so bright and they're actually perfect for this photo. The photo is taken on our holiday or vacation to Greece last summer. We went to the beautiful island of Naxos, and there on the boardwalk the kids wanted to buy these really touristy, kind of tacky but fun slushies on these palm tree shaped glasses or bottles. So the Heidi Swapp collection actually complements the colors of these really well. On these clear ephemeras there are sometimes these sheets of plastic still stuck onto them, so make sure that you take off those sheets to make the ephemera really bright. And now I just want to make up the first, or actually right away I went to the second one also. I want to make 2 of the clusters onto these little tags, and then I just play around with the ephemera, figuring out which ones I want to use. So I want to add a little bit more things onto these little tags. So I'm going through the Hip Kit Club exclusive embellishments designed by Kim Watson. And again, picking out things that could go well together with the layout and the other embellishments. I will also be using these Hip Kit Club exclusive puffy stickers that came in the March Pocket Life kits. I want to add them to the tags, but first I need to glue down all these ephemeras before adding the stickers. I played around with the flowers, but decided not to use them. They are so delicious that I kind of want to keep them a little bit longer before I use them up. Since English isn't my native language, sometimes I struggle with the idea of putting all these English phrases and words into the layout, but I have decided that my scrapbooking language is English. I love all these sentiments and fun little things to add, like these that are on the sticker sheet that you can find on the embellishment kit for March. I mean, they are amazing. The kits are amazing, the layout is amazing, and I just decided that why not just scrapbook in English? And obviously for these creative team purposes it's a lot more productive to use things in English rather than to write in Finnish on these layouts, so nobody would understand, or at least 99% of you guys wouldn't understand what I'm putting down. Every time when getting the layout almost done, I like to take a little moment, stand back, look at it, make my final decisions before adhering everything into the place. I love these little borders that you can put on the, or whatever you want, but especially for the photos I think it works perfectly. And now it's just time to put everything on its place. I realized that the layout is quite one-sided. I do like the fact that the main stuff on the layout is not always in the center of the page, but I kind of felt that I needed to add something onto the right hand lower corner of the layout. So back to the drawing board, back to looking at all these embellishments, and look what I decided to make. A banner it is. I am so fond of making these little banners or pennants or whatever you want to call them. I simply cannot make anything without a banner on it. At this point I also realized that I hadn't yet put on any of the blue mist that I intended to use, so I sprayed or sprinkled some of it onto the layout and let it dry while I'm figuring out what to put on this lower corner cluster. Also, I'm sprinkling just a little bit more of the pink, and to make it cohesive I wanted to add a little bit of the sprinkles also on the corner. When adhering these clear ephemeras, I like to use clear glue so that it shows me right away what it looks like. So now I just want to adhere the rest of the stuff and we are almost done. Here's a good sample of trial and error. I thought I wanted to write down Naxos on the little tag, but first of all, my writing went wrong, and second of all, I didn't like the blue color on it. Instead, I decided that I do want to have a little bit of yellow in all of the clusters, so I added this little yellow tab or tag onto the corner, and also just a tiny bit of pink and yellow onto the left side cluster of embellishments. And there you have it, a finished layout with these amazing March kits. Do go to the Hip Kit Club webpage, you can find the link down below in the description. Check out all these amazing March kits. And thank you so much for watching.